Yes, yes. There's two specific chapters about that in breaking through the noise and how do you stand out. And it's, yeah, a lot of it is making sure you know who you're talking to, and then making sure that your message is for that specific audience. I think those are two really important concepts of, a lot of times, businesses are very broad. And so, say, well, who do you serve? Well, we serve, small
Everybody.
business
Yeah.
and medium businesses and big businesses and enterprises and solopreneurs. And it's like the entire world. Well, it's impossible to market to that. It's impossible to message to that. But when you can break it down, and it's, but there's a chapter in there, and the kind of the big idea is to get big, go small.
Mm.
And the smaller you get, the bigger you get, which is completely counterintuitive. They think I need a really big funnel on top. But the thing is, when your funnel is so big that good stuff doesn't go into it, and then less is coming out the bottom, like, well, what's wrong? What you need to do is take that funnel and flip it upside down so that the small end is on top and you're really, really focused on that market. And when you think you're small enough, go smaller. And then when you think you're scary small and like it's just so tightly defined, go smaller. And then you'll probably be about right. Maybe even smaller than that. But the smaller you can get, the more finite that market becomes. It's easier to target and it's very easy to message. And I think that's one of the things, especially in a market like today where it's so crowded and there's so many companies doing different things. A CRM. Yeah, if you're a CRM company today, you're toast.
Yeah.
Not the app toast because they've done pretty well.
Right.
But if you're trying to be a general CRM, you're done. But if you can focus in and say, okay, I'm going to be a CRM for this specific market, and we're going to go smaller and smaller and smaller, really define what that is. Well, now we can articulate who it is we're talking to. What problem is it that we're solving with our CRM for that market? It's not just, you want to keep track of your contacts. There's a lot more to it. What do you want to do with that? How do you build it? What are things that are important to them? What does the workflow look like? And you can create a solution around them and around the problem that they have, so that when they see that, then it really resonates with them, and they say, "Wow, this was built for me," because it was, because you had that in mind. And I think so many times, someone will start a business, and whether it's technology or something else, and hey, I've got this great idea, and we're going to start this business, and they've got a solution in search of a problem, rather than finding a problem and someone very specific who has that problem and building a solution for that person for that problem.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. And I almost feel like that speaks directly towards this kind of abundant mentality, because I think when you sometimes want to, you're afraid of, I should say, of drilling down and cutting and chopping, going deeper and deeper and deeper into the people that you serve.
Yeah.
You feel like, oh my gosh, look at all these clients I'm leaving, away, or potential revenue I'm cutting off. But I think in reality, what you're saying, if I understand correctly, when you drill down, you're speaking so directly to the people that you're serving that you're creating maybe even an experience to some degree, that
Yes.
experience is so great that you end up serving them better.